Alright, so let's talk about some new upcoming features coming to Fortnite Chapter 5. So obviously in Chapter 5 we were introduced to weapon attachments. And they're pretty cool, don't get me wrong, I do like them. I just don't like that you have to go to a major vault to modify your weapons. I just wish there were more weapon benches all over the place, or even a portable one. Remember the portable weapon upgrade bench that we used to have? I want something like that where we can just modify our weapons on the go. Regardless, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about new stuff coming to the game soon. So this first part is compliments of Wenzo the Data Miner as well as FireMonkey. So the tweet actually comes from FireMonkey himself. I'll link both of these guys in the description. Here's what he says. Epic Games is working on new weapon modifications, including an entire mod category called AMPS. So for the AMPS, AMPS, it says Weapon AMPS, Automatic Fire, Crit Damage Multiplier, Flaming Bullets, and then in parentheses, fire wherever the bullet hits, and then restores stamina, parentheses, shot on enemies restores your stamina. So Weapon AMPS will obviously amplify your weapon in some regard. Now some of these sound good, some of them are just eh. For example, Automatic Fire, how many weapons do you need to convert to Automatic Fire? I know the Burst SMG could be turned into auto fire, but then it would be like the other SMG. And I think some of the pistols are semi-auto, so you could turn those into automatic fire as well. I don't know. I mean, it could be useful, but it doesn't sound that great. And then the next one is Crit Damage Multiplier. Well, anytime you multiply damage anywhere, it's going to be good. So I feel like that's going to be pretty sweet. Flaming Bullets does sound somewhat useful. It'll be more useful in builds, though, because if people build in wood, you can obviously catch it on fire. And then the restores stamina, that's not bad. It's kind of like Siphon, but you just get stamina back. Next up are new weapon barrels and muzzles. So there's something called the muzzle breach, the long barrel, the fire barrel, and the triple barrel. So I'll be honest, I don't 100% know what some of these are going to do. The muzzle breach sounds like maybe it'll do increased melee damage like a bayonet or something, or you could break builds or walls or doors easy, I don't know. Long barrel, at least in Call of Duty, will give you extended range. So your bullets obviously get weaker as you shoot for further distance, but with a long barrel, technically they would stay the same amount of damage for extended range. Fire barrel kind of sounds like the flaming bullets, so I don't know what this would do other than catch things on fire. And triple barrel, I have no idea. Then we got new weapon magazines, so overload mag, extended mag, and quick mag. Well, we kind of have some of these already. We have speed mag and we have drum mag. Isn't that the same as quick mag and extended mag? I don't know. These seem a little redundant to me. And then there's a new weapon underbarrel, speed foregrip. So I don't know about this one. Maybe it'll make you go faster, but I don't know. Why would a foregrip, which normally helps with recoil, do anything with speed? I'd have to wait and see. So some of those do sound pretty interesting. So these next few things come from the data miner Wenzo as well. So he says, Epic is currently working on a rope swinging movement mechanic. You'll be able to swing from fixed ropes and chandeliers that you can find around the map. So that sounds interesting. So it kind of reminds me of a Tomb Raider / Tarzan / Indiana Jones type scenario. Especially Tarzan swinging from the vines. Or I guess you could pretend to be Sia and swing from the chandeliers. So it doesn't sound like you're going to be able to do that all over the map, just in certain places. Then he says, in addition to rope swinging, Epic is working on rope rappelling as a new Chapter 5 movement mechanic. You'll be able to climb up ropes that you can find around the map. This does include the swinging rope / chandeliers from the previous tweet. This one is a little confusing to me because we already have zip lines, which is basically what this would be, except zip lines shoot you up instantly. You don't have to climb up them, you just go flying upwards. So this sounds like a worse version of a zip line. So I just don't know how this one's going to work. In theory it sounds cool, and if we never had zip lines to begin with, this would be really beneficial. But we do have zip lines and they're all over the place, so I don't know. Now this next part sounds really cool. So he says Epic is working on a new car hijacking feature. Then he says you'll be able to hijack other players' cars. It has a cooldown and the action can be canceled. Then he says a hijacking can fail if the driver takes a sharp turn or if the car goes too fast. So maybe they're working on a Grand Theft Auto type mode. Grand Theft Fortnite! In all honesty though, this does sound really cool, but it also kind of sounds pretty useless. Because if you think about it, how do car fights usually go? You can blow up a car in like 1 or 2 magazines. If you're in squads, your whole squad can fire at it and boom, it blows up. So it sounds like you hop on the car, but if they take a sharp turn or they go too fast, you fly off. And again, people just hit the boost button, so I just don't understand the practicality of this. It sounds awesome though, don't get me wrong. And for creative maps, I think this is going to be great. You could literally create a Grand Theft Auto game mode using this feature. And then lastly, speaking of cars, according to Sam Leaks, we got a few new rocket racing cars inbound. So he says the Sentio V17, the Endo, the Battle Bus, the Whiplash, the Ferrari 458, and then lastly the Citroen C3 R5/Rally 2. So some of those I've definitely heard of, some of them I've never seen before. But obviously the Ferrari would be really cool, and the Battle Bus, which is already in Rocket League, is pretty sweet as well. Maybe one day they'll give us the Lightning McQueen collaboration we've all been waiting for. How awesome would that be? Get a little ka-chow going. So there you go, we've got a lot of stuff hopefully coming soon to Chapter 5 Season 1. The epic break is nearing to an end, so updates will resume shortly, and hopefully some of these additions will be added soon. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about some of this stuff they're going to add to the game? I'm hyped for more weapon attachments and AMPS, but some of this other stuff sounds really cool as well. So there you go, that's all there is to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. A like is always appreciated, and don't forget to use my supporter creator code, which is tabortime.